Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Indiana State Police Roadshow. I'm your host, Sergeant John Perrine, the Public Information Officer from the Indianapolis District. The Roadshow is brought to you each and every week by the Indiana State Police Alliance and Cops for Kids, a subsidiary of the State Police Alliance. You can find more information about them on their website at www.indianasfinest.com. Every week he makes us look good behind the camera. He puts us on YouTube, and he works incredibly hard to do that. Thank you to Tom Trial, the one and only. His efforts get us on. Now, my guest today, you may have seen him before once or twice, and he's just a wealth of knowledge, and he's got so much in that noggin of his.
Be careful. I have all the weapons over here on this side.
Thanks to my guest, Captain Mike Pruitt, Wayne Township Fire Department. Welcome.
Good to be here, John, as always.
Yeah, glad to see you.
I always leave every day of the week open for you.
I don't know how you made it through security with a backpack full of fireworks.
Pretty good at this. It's not the first time.
You act like, yeah.
So,
after today, you will be on the TSA list.
I'm very fearful of that could happen, but it's all for good cause.
So why did you bring fireworks? I mean, is there a holiday coming up that includes fireworks?
Well, if we celebrate our nation's birthday, and that's pretty exciting. But some people choose it as a day to be an idiot with fireworks, and so that's what we're here for, is to talk about those folks and what not to do. Those folks
who are job security for guys like you and I.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of truth to that. So the people stop doing silly things, and I'm not sure what we do for work, but that's okay.
Now, I absolutely love the 4th of July. Probably my favorite holiday. I just love you gather with your family and your community, and just the feeling of 4th of July. I just love it. But man, how quickly can it turn tragic if you aren't following the proper protocol, because anybody and everybody has these huge fireworks now.
We know the injuries increase, burns. We also know that fire calls increase, and that could be actual fires or smoke scares. When people get sent, I don't know if you've ever looked over the neighborhood, but during the 4th of July, there's a large cloud of smoke, and that comes from a massive amount of fireworks being set off. So there's smoke scares, and then there's people that are responsible and shoot them at things and they end up setting structures on fire. So there's a couple different problems there.
Now, based on our track record so far this year, it's a good chance it's going to be raining on 4th of July.
Well, you know what? It could be a very, very soggy. It could be a down year for fireworks sales. But, hey, keeping the fingers crossed that the rain's going to go away by July.
It's not just the 4th of July. It's the weeks leading up to. It's the weeks after. These fireworks stores pop up and stay open all summer.
Yeah, so, I mean, a couple of them in our community are open year-round.
Things that were highly illegal when I was a child are now sold at every one of these stores, and they're legal in Indiana. So go through the steps, Mike. What if you're going to have a fireworks show and you're looking for fireworks? You want some aerial things and some explosions, some loud booms. Man, safety protocols got to be top of your list.
First of all, we always recommend that you go to maybe a designated shoot site, and several communities have those around. We know the reality.
Now, here's a great idea. If you're a cheap guy like me that doesn't want to buy fireworks, you just go to the designated shoot site and watch everybody else's fireworks.
This is something you've done. This is not a if you do this. This is something you've done, obviously.
But anyway, designated shoot site, because they're safety done. I mean, they make sure there's no trees or houses or anything else.
Right, and we know people are going to shoot these off at home, even though we don't recommend it. But some of the things that you need to think ahead about is, one, when you go to the fireworks store to purchase fireworks, you need to talk to the people that work there, especially the folks that work in these year-round fireworks stores. Are very knowledgeable about the products they sell. They'll tell you exactly what they do so that you don't get any surprises when you go, hey, watch this, and it does something that you didn't expect it to do. So read the instructions, talk to the fireworks salespeople, get all the information you can, and then besides listening to us, you can also go online and there's all kinds of safety procedures on there. But preparing your site, if you're having family and friends over, preparing your shoot site. So making sure you're not near any structures. They have a nice, clear, open field to do this in. Make sure that it's not super dry. Right now is not a problem, obviously, but Indiana weather could dry up in 30 days and, start drying up here in the next 30 days. And so we could have things dry up and catch fire. Mm-hmm. So making sure we have that, making sure we have a bucket of water available to put old fireworks in that have already been discarded, because they sometimes can smolder for a while. So the last thing we want to do is leave something laying around where it might catch something on fire, or somebody might a step on it, especially sparklers.
Yeah.
These get over 1,000 degrees or more, and when these heat up, people get done with them, they throw them on the ground, and somebody steps on them, and they make a version of those that's actually made out of bamboo that burns away as the sparkler continues. So site preparation is very important. Adults only, lighting fireworks off.
Yeah.
When we start talking, there are things that we can do for children. You got the little party favorites here that you pull out. You got the little poppets that you can use. They're pretty harmless to use. So those are some items that you can get some glow sticks, things like that the kids can play with, enjoy fun. But they shouldn't have their hands on mortar shells, anything that's like a Roman candle. Did you ever shoot one of these at anybody, John?
I don't know if I can. At somebody, no.
Did you ever learn your lesson not to do this?
Not on purpose.
Okay. Anyhow, Roman candles are real popular because people like to shoot these flaming balls at each other. And I've seen some pretty serious injuries over the last 35 years from
those are
from
most
these type of fireworks.
commonly against all warning labels held in people's hands.
Yes, you should never hold any fireworks in. I know sparklers are one of the things you'll see people hold in their hands, but yeah, you shouldn't be holding things in your hands because things can go wrong. When we talk about these mortar shells, even if you put, like, these are two different types of mortar shells. Okay, so if I've got tubes saved from several years, or if I buy different types of mortar tubes and I put the wrong mortar, and especially put it in the wrong way, this goes back to looking at the directions, I could cause a huge explosion.
And you act like you speak about this from experience.
We demonstrated this last year, and so there are a few people that could testify to how putting the wrong mortar in a tube can go wrong. They saw what will happen.
And it could be devastating, really. I mean, these things, you could blow your hand off. You could hurt yourself to the point of death. I mean, this is serious. So we joke, we laugh about making these mistakes, but mistakes could be catastrophic.
Yeah, one of the lessons I learned was from these little black cats. When I was probably, 6, 7 years old, I thought it'd be a grand idea to take one of these that didn't go off all the way. And I remember it having a fuse on it, 1/4 of an inch long. It didn't go all the way off. And I took a match and lit it, and it went off so fast that it went off in my face. And I've had a hearing deficiency.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, I've had a hearing deficiency in my left ear ever since then. And that hearing deficiency, when we do our hearing tests at the fire department, it's validated by doctors that I have a hearing deficiency. And it was caused by that firework going off in my ears. So it can have some really bad consequences if you are not responsible with these products.
Yeah, and so again, safe areas. What about, watching fireworks at, you go to a big fireworks show somewhere. Is there a safe distance you should sit?
Well, hopefully most professional fireworks shows have areas marked off. But what I'll say is that when you go to any type of event like that, always plan ahead for weather, any other type of emergencies. It's just having good situational awareness. God forbid that we'd ever have anything go wrong at a fireworks show, but know where you're at, know your egress points from a show so that you can exit safely. Even after the show, making sure you park somewhere that you can safely walk to your car and leave the show and everybody enjoys the 4th of July.
Let's say you're at one of these great cookouts and somebody has purchased some fireworks and you overhear somebody say, "Hey, hold my beer while I light this." What should your response be?
Well, one, don't hold their beer. All right, just let them keep their beer and you walk away after making recommendations maybe that they should not do this. We joke and we hear that, but when we talk about mixing alcohol with fireworks, things go really bad. And of course, what else do they shoot off, John, on the 4th of July that I know you talk a little bit about now and then? What's the other item that gets shot off besides fireworks?
Guns.
Yes.
Guns. They think, hey, we want something that goes boom. I've got a gun in the drawer that goes boom. Let's just shoot it up in the air for fun because it goes boom. And absolutely terrible, terrible idea.
Yeah. So it's, you can have a lot of fun with fireworks. And, you go into the grocery stores and you get these nice family packs right here. This one's called the Backyard Show. So read up on everything that's in this. And, you can buy the stuff out of the grocery store, but I said, go to a fireworks dealer and talk to them about
because
what's
if you
in
tell
this
them
bag.
what you describe to them where you're lighting them, what your intentions are, and what kind of things you have, they'll set you up a fireworks show.
Absolutely.
Very
You know, and people set fireworks off all the time. I hear them in my neighborhood year round, just certain events, so holidays, you'll see people firing off fireworks. But check your local times. For the most part, the times vary from on 4th of July, the day before 4th of July, during Christmas even, New Year's, when you can shoot these off. So it's very important to pay attention to the times of when you can do that. We don't want anybody get in trouble, and
well, then just be respectful.
And you know what? Law enforcement gets run ragged on the 4th of July with fireworks complaints, and they try to do the best they can, but it's going to be noisy. And another thing that we need to think about is our pets.
Yeah.
So many dogs, and I think you could probably talk to the people at the animal shelters that end up with a lot of lost dogs because these fireworks start going off and dogs are terrified, or animal pets in general. And so it's just a good idea to think of them
and some
also.
Some children in your neighborhood could be terrified of fireworks, and you could be causing some trauma. So
buy a headset for them. If they don't like the loud noises, buy some ear protection for them. It's rather cheap at most stores, big box stores.
Mike, something that's gotten popular in the last few years that I don't remember seeing is Chinese lanterns. You light this flaming torch and you send it up into the air.
Makes no sense, does it?
And so I tried one, of course. And so a couple years ago when I still lived in a neighborhood, first two or three were great. And the second one's hovering pretty low. Something's not right. And it's within a foot of landing on my neighbor's roof. And at this point, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I run to their house. I grab their garden hose. Luckily, it misses their roof and lands in their backyard. And I don't know what went wrong, but I'm pretty positive it would have caught their house on fire.
Yeah, those things absolutely drive me crazy. And the other thing that drives me crazy is the thought of you with a fire hose, trying to put out a fire. That's probably was a bad combination.
It's not that hard, Mike. It's not that hard. Water comes out of this end, you squirt it at the fire.
But I've seen those things. I mean, you see them over the city of Indianapolis.
Yeah, by the dozens.
And release. And it makes no sense to me why you would release a flaming fireball into the sky. We talk about drones and stuff that concerns that. I'm thinking these things are flying up there and there's aircraft's got to fly around them.
Yeah.
But, when you're using things like that, it's especially in an urban area, I wouldn't recommend them. I mean, I'm not trying to damper the sales of them.
They look cool, it's fun, whatever it may be, but just think, man, that's got to land somewhere. And I know that it burns out before it lands, and a lot of times the ones I've seen, the whole thing just burns and evaporates, essentially. But what if it doesn't? What if it does come down on somebody's house or car or in a field with that open flame?
There's another little topic called the homemade firework.
Ooh.
And we see people going online and learning how to build homemade fireworks. And I mean, you can build there's the thing where they tie all the sparklers together, sparkler bombs. I'm telling you what, you are asking for trouble. You're going to injure yourself. You're going to injure other family members and friends. And worst of all, injuring children. Yeah. Because you saw this great idea on the internet and you decided to build this. And there's certain regulations with fireworks, what the consumer can buy, and that's what you should just be buying and using instead of building your own.
Now, the people that are listening to our show, they're good people because they listen to our show, of course.
Absolutely.
But if you see somebody doing something ridiculous, first thing you might do is say, hey, guys, that's not safe. Second thing, get it far away from them and go ahead and call the fire department. I don't want to inundate the fire department or the police department with those calls. But we don't want anybody to get hurt either.
Right.
And that's the goal.
And, I would like to think that our message, and this goes to any safety messages we put out, make a huge difference. And there are those people that slip through the cracks that keep us employed on a yearly basis. But I think a lot of people are very responsible and are scared enough of these items that they're very safe with them.
Yeah. So 4th of July coming up real soon. Great holiday. We're looking forward to it. I really do enjoy the 4th, but I also don't want to respond to any of those tragic calls as you don't as well.
Oh, I don't either. And, we've had years where it's been extremely quiet, and that's been good. But then we get years where we just have people that just make bad choices, and we go on responses, and we see those burn injuries to the hands and trauma to other parts of the body. Even when people shoot bottle rockets at one another, that's extremely dangerous, and we've seen these things cause injury to the eyes.
Yeah.
And talking about eyes, if we are an adult and we're doing fireworks shoot, wear your safety glasses, wear some gloves, protect yourself.
Yeah, well, thank you very much to my guest today, the one and only Captain Mike Pruitt from the Wayne Township Fire Department. State Police Roadshow has been brought to you by the Indiana State Police Alliance and Cops for Kids, a subsidiary of the State Police Alliance. Thanks again to Tom Trial for putting us on YouTube. Everybody have a happy and safe 4th of July.